Hello and welcome. In this video, you'll discover why Britain refuses to give up the Falkland Islands, the remote South Atlantic territory, at the heart of one of the most enduring territorial disputes in history. We'll dive into the 1982 Falklands War, Argentina's claims over Las Malvinas, the secret military strategies, RAF Mount Pleasant, and how these tiny islands still shape national pride, identity, and international politics. If you want to understand the full story behind the Falklands and why these islands matter more than you think, keep watching. The Falkland Islands are located in the South Atlantic Ocean. Their location is approximately 8,000 miles from London. The islands are situated about 300 miles from Argentina. This positioning highlights their remote and isolated nature. The Falkland Islands' geographic location has been a factor in geopolitical considerations. The Falkland Islands consist of two main islands and hundreds of smaller ones. These islands are characterized by cold, windswept landscapes. The Falkland Islands are known for their sparse population. The geography presents a unique environment, shaped by its climate and isolation. The British Empire once spanned a significant portion of the globe. At its zenith, the empire controlled approximately a quarter of the Earth's landmass. This vast historical influence provides context for understanding Britain's claims. Specifically, it informs the basis of Britain's claim to the Falkland Islands. The historical extent of the empire is thus relevant to the present-day dispute. Argentina's perspective views the Falkland Islands as a symbol of colonial injustice. This view is rooted in Argentina's historical struggle for independence from Spain. The islands are seen as a remnant of European colonialism in South America. Argentine narratives emphasize the perceived humiliation of colonial occupation. This historical context shapes Argentina's claim to the Falkland Islands. The islands represent a continued challenge to Argentina's national sovereignty. The timeline begins with the initial British settlement in the late 18th century. This settlement represents an early attempt by the British to establish a foothold. However, the initial British settlement faced significant economic troubles. These economic difficulties led to the abandonment of the settlement by the British. Following the British abandonment, the Spanish laid claim to the territory. This Spanish claim marked a shift in the region's colonial control. In 1833, British forces returned to the Falkland Islands. This action marked the reassertion of British control over the territory. The British return was a significant historical event in the island's history. Argentina protested the British reassertion of control. The event remains a point of contention between the United Kingdom and Argentina. British settlers arrived and began establishing communities. Sheep farms became a prominent feature of the landscape. Towns were developed, reflecting English architectural styles. The settlers transformed the islands into a rural, English-style environment. This transformation reshaped the natural landscape and ecology. The United Nations served as a key forum for diplomatic discussions during the 1960s and 70s. Britain and Argentina engaged in talks regarding the sovereignty of certain islands. These discussions aimed to address and resolve territorial disputes through peaceful negotiation. The UN provided a neutral platform for these nations to present their claims and arguments. Diplomatic meetings involved representatives from both countries, seeking common ground. Footage from these meetings offers insight into the complexities of international diplomacy. The footage depicts the rise of the military junta in Argentina in 1976. The junta's rise marked a period of significant political upheaval. The archival footage also highlights the economic crisis that followed in the early 1980s. This period was characterized by substantial political and economic instability in Argentina. In April 1982, Argentine forces initiated an invasion of the Falkland Islands. This military action marked a significant escalation in the long-standing territorial dispute. The invasion was characterized by rapid deployment of Argentine troops. The Argentine military quickly seized control of key locations on the islands. The invasion prompted a swift response from the United Kingdom. The UK government condemned the invasion and prepared a military task force. A British task force was assembled in response to an event. The task force consisted of over 100 ships. It also included a substantial contingent of 28,000 personnel. The fleet sailed south to reclaim the islands. The Falklands War was characterized by extremely challenging environmental conditions. Battles were fought in freezing mountainous terrain, impacting troop mobility and endurance. Mined beaches presented a significant obstacle to amphibious landings and troop deployment. turbulent seas surrounding the islands, complicated naval operations, and logistical support. The Falklands War resulted in a significant loss of life on both sides. Nearly 900 individuals perished during the conflict. The majority of casualties were Argentine military personnel. The war's impact extended to British forces as well, with a substantial number of fatalities. The loss of life represents a profound human cost of the Falklands War. The conflict's impact is a somber reminder of the consequences of armed conflict. The British victory led to a significant increase in Margaret Thatcher's public approval. News footage highlighted the celebratory atmosphere and national pride. Political commentators analyzed the factors contributing to Thatcher's rising popularity. The victory was widely seen as a testament to Thatcher's strong leadership. This surge in popularity strengthened Thatcher's political position. The increased support provided Thatcher with greater leverage to implement her policies. The Argentina military dictatorship collapsed within a year of the war's end. The political fallout from the conflict led to widespread instability. Public discontent with the military regime increased dramatically. Economic problems exacerbated the existing political tensions. The military's loss of credibility made it difficult to maintain power. These factors combined to trigger the downfall of the dictatorship. The Falkland Islands symbolize British military pride. They represent national resilience in the face of adversity. The islands evoke a sense of historical connection to the British Empire. The Falklands serve as a reminder of Britain's global reach. They are a focal point for expressions of British patriotism. The Falklands embody a specific aspect of British national identity. National identity is constructed through education and cultural symbols. School curricula often play a key role in shaping national identity. Maps can be powerful tools for visually representing territorial claims. Including the Malvinas Islands in national territory maps reinforces Argentina's claim. This representation is part of a broader effort to instill a sense of national belonging. Children are taught about the island's significance to Argentine identity. The Argentine passport serves as an official travel document. It contains personal information and security features. The passport includes national symbols and imagery. An outline of the Falkland Islands is featured on the passport. This inclusion represents Argentina's claim to the islands. The image serves as a symbolic assertion of sovereignty. Tierra del Fuego is an Argentine province with unique symbols. These symbols include a distinctive flag representing the province. The province also has an anthem that reflects its history and culture. Notably, Tierra del Fuego formally includes the Malvinas Islands within its administrative territory. This claim is embedded in the province's official identity and representation. The flag and anthem thus carry symbolic weight related to this territorial assertion. The Falkland Islands exhibit a high level of militarization. This militarization includes a significant military presence and infrastructure. RAF Mount Pleasant serves as a major military base on the islands. Aerial shots and data visualizations can illustrate the extent of this militarization. RAF Mount Pleasant hosts a variety of advanced military aircraft. Typhoon fighter jets provide air defense and strike capabilities. A 400M transport aircraft support logistical operations and troop deployment. Advanced radar systems enhance surveillance and threat detection. These assets collectively contribute to the base's operational readiness. The UK maintains a military presence on the Falkland Islands. This presence incurs significant annual economic costs. The annual cost is approximately $115 million. This figure represents a substantial expenditure for the UK. The cost includes personnel, equipment, and logistical support. The expense is a subject of ongoing economic and political discussion. Argentina's military capabilities have declined since the 1982. Economic crises have significantly impacted military funding. Underfunding has led to reduced operational readiness. This decline affects equipment, modernization, and training. The Argentine government has consistently issued official statements regarding the Falkland Islands. These statements often explicitly refuse to recognize British sovereignty over the islands. This rhetoric forms a key part of Argentina's long-standing claim to the territory. The statements assert Argentina's belief in its legitimate right to the islands. Argentina asserts territorial claims extending beyond the Malvinas Islands. These claims encompass South Georgia and the South Sandwich Islands. Argentina's claimed territories also include overlapping areas in Antarctica. Maps illustrate the extent and overlap of these Argentine territorial claims. The Antarctic Treaty, was signed in 1959, establishing a legal framework for the region. A key provision of the treaty is the freezing of all territorial claims in Antarctica. This means no country's existing claims are recognized or denied, and no new claims can be made. The treaty promotes international cooperation in scientific research on the continent. It also prohibits military activities, mineral exploitation, and nuclear explosions in Antarctica. The Argentina 50 peso note features prominent national symbols. The banknote displays an outline of the Falkland Islands, Las Malvinas. It also includes a portrait of Antonio Rivero, an Argentine gaucho. These elements represent aspects of Argentine history and identity. Antonio Rivero's legacy is viewed differently depending on the historical perspective. Argentinian narratives often portray Rivero as a national patriot and hero. This perspective emphasizes his role in resisting foreign influence. Conversely, British historical accounts sometimes depict Rivero as a disgruntled worker. These accounts focus on labor disputes and potential insubordination. The contrasting depictions highlight the complexities of historical interpretation and national identity. The Argentine perspective views the Malvinas Islands as a case of unfinished decolonization. Argentina asserts its claim based on historical occupation and geographical proximity. The claim is rooted in the belief that the islands were illegally seized by the United Kingdom in 1833. From Argentina's viewpoint, the islanders are a transplanted population, not the original inhabitants. Therefore, Argentina considers the dispute a matter of territorial integrity and national sovereignty. Self-determination, from a British perspective, emphasizes the right of a people to freely determine their political status. This principle was exemplified by the 2013 referendum in the Falkland Islands. In this referendum, islanders overwhelmingly voted to remain a British overseas territory. The UK government views this vote as a clear expression of the islanders' wishes regarding their sovereignty. Argentina argues that the settlers in the disputed territory are descendants of an illegal occupation. This perspective challenges the legitimacy of their presence and claims to the land. Argentina asserts that the wishes of these descendants should not determine sovereignty. The argument emphasizes historical claims and international law in defining rightful ownership. The scene symbolizes Britain's national pride. It represents a commitment to honoring the sacrifices made. The sacrifices were made by those who fought for the Falklands. It commemorates those who died in service during the conflict. Argentina views its claim to the Malvinas Islands as a matter of historical justice. This perspective is rooted in Argentina's historical narrative and territorial claims. The Argentine position emphasizes the belief that the islands were unjustly taken. Reclaiming the Malvinas is seen as correcting a perceived historical wrong. This viewpoint is a significant factor in Argentina's ongoing pursuit of sovereignty over the islands. The historical narrative shapes Argentina's national identity and its relationship with the Malvinas. The Falkland Islands issue is exploited as a political tool. It serves to ignite nationalist sentiment in both Britain and Argentina. Politicians leverage the historical dispute to rally public support. This manipulation of nationalist emotion can influence political agendas. Traditional battlefields are no longer the sole domain of conflict. The arena of conflict has expanded to include classrooms. Maps representing territorial disputes become points of contention. Political arenas serve as key stages for ongoing conflict. Conflict manifests through educational, geographical, and political means. The nature of conflict has evolved beyond physical warfare. National identity is deeply connected to territory, shaping a nation's sense of self. Territory provides a tangible anchor for shared history, culture, and belonging. For the Falkland Islands, this connection transforms the islands from a mere geographical location into a symbol of national identity. The Falkland Islands become a focal point for national pride, sovereignty, and collective memory. The Falkland Islands economy is significantly influenced by fishing activities. Fishing rights around the islands are a key economic factor. These rights generate substantial revenue for the region. Economic activity is centered around the harvesting and processing of marine resources. The revenue from fishing contributes to the overall economic stability of the Falkland Islands. Oil exploration in the Falkland Islands waters involves surveying and drilling to discover oil reserves. Successful oil discoveries can lead to significant economic growth for the islands. This includes increased revenue, job creation, and infrastructure development. However, It also raises environmental concerns and geopolitical tensions in the region. The Falkland Islands are strategically located in the South Atlantic Ocean. Their geographical position provides significant maritime control. Control over the islands enhances power projection in the region. The islands serve as a key point for naval operations and surveillance. This maritime control impacts trade routes and resource access. The Falkland Islands location is therefore geopolitically important. The Falkland Islands dispute significantly impacts Argentina's diplomatic relations in Latin America. Some Latin American countries support Argentina's claim to the Falkland Islands, viewing it as a post-colonial issue. This support can manifest in resolutions and statements of solidarity within regional organizations. However, other countries prioritize maintaining good relations with the United Kingdom, creating a complex dynamic. The dispute thus influences Argentina's alliances and partnerships within the Latin American political landscape. International law governs disputes over territorial sovereignty between nations. Britain and Argentina presented distinct legal arguments under international law regarding sovereignty. These arguments centered on historical claims, occupation, and self-determination principles. Analyzing these legal perspectives is crucial for understanding the complexities of the dispute. Falkland Islanders possess a unique cultural identity shaped by their history and environment. This identity is strongly connected to British heritage and traditions. Visuals can depict various aspects of this culture, such as their lifestyle and community events. These elements reflect the blend of British influence and the Falkland Islands' distinct character. The Falkland Islands offer a unique tourism experience centered around its natural environment. Wildlife viewing, including penguins and seabirds, is a primary attraction for visitors. Historical sites related to the Falklands War also draw significant tourist interest. Tourism contributes to the local economy and promotes awareness of the island's heritage. Military activities can have significant environmental impacts. These impacts can affect the Falkland Islands and surrounding areas. Environmental considerations are important in military planning and operations. Monitoring and mitigation efforts can help reduce the environmental footprint. The Falkland Islands dispute involves conflicting claims of sovereignty between the UK and Argentina. Future scenarios involve a range of potential resolutions to this ongoing territorial conflict. One potential resolution involves continued UK sovereignty, with enhanced cooperation with Argentina. Another scenario could explore a form of joint administration or shared sovereignty. International arbitration or a binding referendum are other potential paths to resolution. This analysis focuses on British public sentiment towards the Falkland Islands. It examines the level of support for maintaining British sovereignty over the islands. The study also gauges public willingness to defend the Falkland Islands. Understanding public opinion is crucial for informing policy decisions regarding the Falklands. Public opinion in Argentina reflects a strong sentiment regarding the Malvinas Islands. A significant portion of the Argentine population desires to reclaim the Malvinas. This desire is rooted in historical claims and national identity. Analyzing public opinion provides insights into the political and social dynamics surrounding the issue. Understanding this sentiment is crucial for interpreting Argentina's stance on the Malvinas. The Falklands War saw intense media coverage that significantly shaped public perception. Archival footage provides insights into the reporting styles and narratives employed during the conflict. Analysis reveals how media framing influenced public opinion regarding the war's justification and conduct. The media's role in constructing national identity and wartime morale is a key aspect of this historical event. The Falkland Islands, divided by Malvinas issue, is a point of historical and political contention between the UK and Argentina. British education typically presents the islands as a self-governing territory with a right to self-determination. The British narrative emphasizes the 1982 war as an act of Argentine aggression against British territory. Argentine education frames the islands as Las Malvinas, an integral part of Argentine territory illegitimately occupied by the UK. The Argentine narrative highlights historical claims and UN resolutions calling for negotiations over sovereignty. These differing educational approaches reflect and reinforce national identities and historical perspectives on the conflict. The conflict remains unresolved, indicating a lack of final resolution. This unresolved state suggests ongoing tensions and potential future disputes. The legacy of the conflict continues to impact both nations involved. This impact may manifest in political, economic, and social spheres. The lasting effects highlight the deep-seated nature of the conflict. Both nations grapple with the enduring consequences of the unresolved issues. Thank you for watching. We'd love to hear your thoughts. Tell us in the comments what surprised you the most in this video, or what you found the most fascinating. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. Many more thrilling, shocking, and mind-blowing stories are coming soon.